Well, happy Wednesday. This is our final week in our prayer series. We are focusing on how we can embrace our childlike identity in prayer in our day-to-day lives. Today, we will focus on praying as a servant and specifically how our prayer life relates to our work life. The consensus from many studies is that the average person will spend 1/3 of their life at work. That amounts to 90,000 hours. Another third of your life will be spent sleeping, and the last third of your life will be spent doing anything other than sleeping and working. So, putting all that math together, half of our waking life is spent at work. And as Christians, we seek to glorify God in all that we do. As the Apostle Paul says, we seek to make the best use of the time. So those 90,000 hours we spend matter a whole lot to God. But we see work mattering in the Bible from the very beginning. So in Genesis 1, God gives our first tasks as human beings, and he tells Adam to rule with dominion and to create culture in the garden. And then we see this again in Exodus, where God empowers Bezalel and Oholiab, architects, to build the tabernacle where his presence will dwell. And we see this all the way at the end in Revelation 21, where God says that the cultural products of all these different nations and kings will be brought in to the new city, and we will see our work finally in the new kingdom and the new heavens and new earth. So from beginning to end, we see that work matters to God. In short, Christianity, unlike the ancient Greeks and many modern people, sees work as central to living a good life before God. So it's not surprising that Jesus would pray about it in the Lord's Prayer. Give us today our daily bread. As Jed notes in his book, this in a agrarian society amounts to saying, God, help us with our work. God, bring forth fruit from our labor. This is a prayer for God to use our work as a means for advancing his kingdom and for meeting our physical needs. With that in mind, I want to ask a few questions to you, which hopefully will spark further reflection and prayer. First, what is your view of your day-to-day work, whether in the home or in your occupational space? How would your perspective change if you knew that God was personally invested in the work that you do? Second, in your professional life, how has God shown up in the past, and how do you want him to show up in the future? In short, what thanksgivings can you bring to God for what he's done in your past, and what requests do you have for God to work in your future? My hope for all of us is that we would open up our work and lift it up onto God in prayer, and that we'd experience the joy that comes from 90,000 hours working for his glory and with his blessing. Thank you.